Big welcome to all our members and non-members. This is our BAMAN podcast.
Yeah, first one, really exciting.
Absolutely.
Happy to be here. Feeling a bit nervous, but
I know. It's very daunting, isn't it?
It is daunting.
We're normally behind a needle, aren't we?
I know, and it's really different to be out there doing something like this for me.
What made you join BAMAN? Like, where did you hear about it?
So I actually joined BAMAN, which was then BACN in 2016, and I actually was thinking about a career in aesthetics because I was working with a plastic surgeon and I was working in a little bit of aesthetics with him. And I decided that I wanted to feel safe if I was going to venture out and do this privately. So before actually doing any courses, I went onto Google, had a little look at some...
Oh, you're good. You're very good.
Nurses Association. And BACN came up.
Okay.
So I actually called head office and spoke to Gareth. And he was just fantastic. He just put me on the right path straight away. So, yeah, I joined actually before I did any courses. And then I, shortly after that, did my first course.
How about you, Em?
So I actually I'd already left the NHS, so I was in accident emergency. I was a sister, obviously, like everyone else did in the NHS, doing night shifts, doing day shifts. And I did it for 10 years. It was a long time, and I was just thought, do you know what, I want a new challenge and I want to get into something else, but still use my nursing degree. So I actually attended, this is before I'd even looked at courses or anything like that, I actually attended one of the conferences in London, and one of the first stands I saw was BACN back then, obviously BAMAN, and Gareth was on the stand, and I was like, because they are there representing nurses. You go to these conferences and there can be like 50 to 80 stands, all wanting you to buy their devices.
Quite overwhelming as well.
Very overwhelming. And for me, I've never worked in medical aesthetics, so I walked in and I was like, whoa, looked at the programme and I was like, oh, there's nurses in this title, so I'm going to head there first. And it was brilliant. Met Gareth and I was like, look, I don't know anything about aesthetics. I don't know what course to go on. I don't know where to start. I don't know whether to work for somebody else, whether to set up on my own. And he literally, it was like just having a big hug of support and being like, don't worry, we've got you, like we'll support you. And it was brilliant because he was like, right, looked through the programme with me and was like, have a little look at these. These are the courses I would recommend that within our field.
So kind of guided you on that day.
Yeah, he did. He really did.
Can I just ask, how long have you both been leaders, and what do you feel you're able to provide for the members as leaders?
I've been a lead probably about just over
You're
2.5 years. Yeah, about 2.5 years now. So I cover East Anglia, so it's Essex, Norfolk, Suffolk, and
Bedfordshire,
Bedfordshire, Hertfordshire. Well, right? So it's a huge area. Many nurses in this region. And the reason that I wanted to become a lead is because I was so heavily involved in the meetings anyway. I always attended. I was always quite an active role in things, and I used to do presentations and stuff, and I love supporting other nurses. I mean, when I was in my NHS role, I would obviously do the mentoring and mentor the student nurses. And it kind of is a little bit like that. You're that port of call for these new nurses, but also experienced nurses who might have a question. And I just feel I like that little personal touch that I can give to the members by being a lead and being approachable and supporting. And it's very sociable as well. We have so many meetups throughout the year. We've just started doing coffee mornings, which is great. Because sometimes for someone to take a whole day out to come to a agenda meeting that we normally have, which is where we'll have key speakers and we'll have demonstrations and stuff, it's a lot. But if someone's got a couple of hours in the morning, they can just pop in, say hello. If they've got any questions or need any support or guidance, we can provide that through these coffee mornings. And we've launched them recently and they've just been so successful. And we've been doing them all in the different locations. They've worked well, haven't they, Harriet?
Yeah, I mean, when did I join Regional Lead? Maybe early this year or late last year. It's not been that long. Prior to that, I was sort of flitting in between London and East Anglia because I live in East Anglia, but I also do my NHS role in London. So for me, I was very much what works best for me on that day to where I am.
And then what I found is actually it's really nice that you can move from group to group, because I'm London based, but I've come to your meetings, and I love that there is that option that you can attend any meeting that you want.
I always say to my members as well, I was like, don't forget, if you're on holiday for the week somewhere or visiting family in Scotland or down south, you can always attend their meetings as well.
Which is lovely, isn't
Yeah,
it?
it's not just your area. You have the whole breadth of the country to visit and get involved with their meetings.
So, BAMAN, new name.
Yeah, exciting.
Officially going to be launched at the conference. But I suppose BAMAN in general, we'll just run over why we've changed the name, what that is. So the BAMAN stands for British Association of Medical Aesthetic Nurses.
It's a really exciting change, actually. One that our members have been fully on board with. I think we had 96% of members vote for the name change, which is great. Really good number.
It was a big decision to change it from BACN, because obviously we've been known since 2009 as BACN.
That's a long time.
It is a long time, and we've got all of our marketing. We're quite well known as being BACN, but we decided to change this name because we didn't feel the word cosmetic really underlined our values as medical aesthetic nurses
and represented us.
Yeah, I suppose it doesn't align as much as it was previously.
Yeah,
I mean, we've all worked in medical backgrounds as well, so it's very applicable to our nursing background, isn't it?
Yeah. And we discussed the name change for about a year before we actually put it forward to the members and asked their opinion, and it's the members' opinion that matters. So that's why we have now created this.
Yeah, and I think that's what I love about the BACN as well as association, is they do include the members. Obviously we're now regional leads and stuff, but we've been members since day dot and it's 7 years, but we actually do get very much involved with these big decisions that are being done within the organisation, which is great. So you do feel like you've got a voice within this huge organisation.
Yeah, I suppose it's not for profit, so the whole premise is that it was made by nurses, it's for nurses, and although other people can join, I would say the predominant amount of members, was it 1,200, are nurses themselves. So I think it's an interesting change. It's an exciting change to see what comes from next year, not just because of the name, but seeing where we sort of move forward, really.
The original founders of BAMAN from back in 2009, a lot of them are still members, and they're on the board, and to have that knowledge of like 30 plus years experience in medical aesthetics within our little group, to be able to pull knowledge from them and stuff and have their support when we do question ourselves a little bit, which everybody does. Everybody will have a patient and you're like, I'm not sure if this is the best treatment. To know that you've got 1,000 plus nurses, but as well as that, within that you've got such experienced nurses, it makes you sleep at night.
And it is daunting when you're starting in aesthetics, so I think having that network of support by being in the BAMAN is fantastic. So
and everyone's been there, haven't they? We've all gone on our own for that first meeting.
We've all started at the beginning, and once you go to that first meeting, you'll see how welcoming the nurses are.
Yeah.
So
we'll hopefully see you soon.
See you soon.